जय हिंद, नमस्कार। वेलकम टू निम्बस डिफेंस एकेडमी। आई एम अदिति बेरवान एंड अगर आप डिफेंस फोर्सेस में ऑफिसर बनना चाहते हो तो ये पॉडकास्ट आपके लिए है। अगर आपको एसएसबी को लेकर कोई भी डाउट है, स्पेशली साइकोमेट्रिक असेसमेंट को लेकर, तो ये पॉडकास्ट जरूर देखना, क्योंकि आपके सारे डाउट्स एसएसबी, साइकोमेट्रिक्स, किसी भी चीज के ऊपर सब क्लियर होने वाले हैं। देखो, बिफोर जंपिंग टू द पॉडकास्ट आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर वन थिंग। मैं खुद एसएसबी बहुत बार दे चुकी हूँ, उसके साथ साथ मल्टीपल टाइम्स रिकमेंड भी हो चुकी हूँ। बट जब भी एसएसबी देने जाते एक डाउट और एक डर मुझे हमेशा रहता था कि साइक टेस्ट कैसे असेस होता है, साइक कितना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड असेसमेंट है। बट आज ये डर, ये डाउट सब निकलने वाला है, क्योंकि हमारे साथ है ब्रिगेडियर केडी सिंह, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एक्सपीरियंस साइकोलॉजिस्ट who is going to clear all our doubts. So I would like to tell you more about Brigadier KD Singh. Brigadier KD Singh is a veteran of Indian Army who has served in Corps of Signals for over 37 years. He has done BE, Electronics and MBA. Along with that, he has exposure of all kind of terrain, from high altitudes of Jammu and Kashmir and North Sikkim to sweltering deserts of Rajasthan. Along with that, he has exposure to operational exercise like Barrage tracks in 1987 and has experience of counterinsurgency operations in Jammu and Kashmir and Nagaland. Being in a command of vital communication unit during Operation Vijay, that is the Kargil War, he has exposure to war, which is a rare opportunity in a soldier's lifetime. He got Chief of Army Staff Commendation for excellent operational communication during Operation Vijay, the Kargil War. Another achievement, Sir has served as a psychologist for 3 years in SSB Allahabad and 2 years in SSB Bhopal and assessed over 3,000 candidates. Later on, he was employed by Punjab government on re-employment as a psychologist to serve at Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the AFPI, and Mai Bhago, and helped almost 197 plus candidates to get inducted into various academies of defense forces. Today, I'm proud to announce this that Brigadier KD Singh is a part of Nimbus Defense Academy. So let us dive into the podcast.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, and Namaskar to all the podcast viewers. In the onset, I am very grateful to Director Nimbus for having invited me to this podcast. As also, my heartfelt thanks to Miss Aditi for giving me such an elaborate introduction. We are here today basically to give you an exposure and insight to the selection system for all the defense aspirants so that all of you can prepare, conduct, and be successful in your endeavor to join the Indian Armed Forces.
Thank you so much, sir. I welcome you. सर, हमें ये जानना है कि अगर हम इंडियन डिफेंस फोर्सेस की बात करें तो भारत में एसएसबी, सर्विस सिलेक्शन बोर्ड, 5 दिन का इंटरव्यू कंडक्ट करता है, whereas no other country do the same. तो ये 5 दिन की असेसमेंट क्यों?
Well, that's a very valid question. In order to select or choose a competent person to join the Indian Armed Forces as an officer, we require a deep selection system. This deep selection system means that they have to be expert assessors who assess the personality of the candidate for over 5 days. The reasons are very simple. This is a long-term engagement. For example, we have permanent commission in the Indian Army where a officer serves till 54 years minimum or maximum 62 years if he becomes a chief. Also, as a short service officer, he serves from 10 to 15 years, but out of this lot, about 25% will become regular. So we cannot take a chance. It has to be foolproof so that we consider all of these as they are going to become the officers of the next generation. Now, compared to the other countries like Korea, China, even US, there is conscription. Conscription here means that there it's like a contract, active duty service obligations. That means either it is from 3 years to 5 years or 8 years, after which you leave the army. So this is a contractual period and it is a very short period. Some countries like Australia are doing it for 3 days SSB. England itself is doing only for 4 days. And it varies from other countries. In China and other countries, it is conscription. And therefore, it is very important that it's a long-term engagement, and therefore this system started in 1930s. And since then, it has been time-tested and validated.
सर जैसे ही हम एसएसबी के लिए जाते हैं सबसे पहला हमारा असेसमेंट होता है स्क्रीनिंग. सर स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस क्यों जरूरी है?
स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस इसलिए ज़रूरी है कि there has been a manifold increase in the number of applications and the call-up. Like for example, let's take NDA. Today, the NDA, people who appear for NDA written exam UPSC is about 10 lakhs. Earlier, it used to be 3 to 4 lakhs. So it was well within the SSBs to cater and evaluate. But now it is out of these 10 lakhs, about 10,000 get through the UPSC examination. And out of these 10,000, only 350 vacancies are there every 6 months. So it is now from it grows that we have to, our system has to be in place to at least evaluate these 10,000 candidates who have got through. But as you all know, there is a restriction, there's a restricted capacity of the SSBs to evaluate these candidates. Therefore, these are two main reasons why screening out started in 1998-99. The influx suddenly went very high. So we have to perforce get into screening so that the unwanted candidates or those who are not fit initially should be weeded out.
So what do you think? Why very large number of candidates get screened out?
Very large number of candidates get screened out. It's a fact for two reasons. First reason is the system. The system is not that capable of evaluating all the candidates. For example, the call-up is 300 in a board, in a selection center. So two boards are working in tandem. That means each board has a capacity of 30. So only 60 candidates can be evaluated. Now how many have come? 300. So 240 will have to go back. So first is their performance. If either their OIR is low, that means 3 and below, or maybe that they are not able to perceive the stimulus in the PPDT, unable to discuss, or they do not participate in the discussion. So such candidates will have to be weeded out because the system does not allow more than 60. So as you all know, there are total of 15 boards of Army and Navy and about 6 boards of Air Force. So we are just 21 boards in the entire country. And now, of course, it's not possible to keep on increasing the SSBs. So therefore, they have formulated a method for removing or weeding out the candidates who are not fit. That is why large number of candidates are screened out.
सर जैसे ही हमारा स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस होता है तो कुछ कैंडिडेट स्क्रीन आउट हो जाते हैं, कुछ स्क्रीन इन हो जाते हैं. जैसे ही जो कैंडिडेट स्क्रीन इन हो जाते हैं उनकी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन कंडक्ट होती है. उस डॉक्यूमेंटेशन के अंदर एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर्म फिल करवाता है, दैट इज PIQ. सर वो PIQ कैसे भरते हैं और उसकी क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है?
Okay. PIQ stands for Previous Information Questionnaire. Basically, it's a document which gives the profile of a candidate. Profile here means basically his socio-economic background. Where does he belong to? Where does he come from? What are his parents doing? What are his siblings doing? What is his educational qualification? How is has he got any outstanding achievements in academics? Then coming to his physical parameters, his height, weight, whether he is obese, not obese, or whether he is fit. Then his participation in games and sports, if he has made any achievements there in the field of games and sports, his extracurricular activities, his achievements in life so far, and his aspirations, his hobbies, all these are there in the PAQ form, and this PAQ form helps like a platform for the assessor to probe deeper into the candidate. This PAQ form is given to the psychologist and to the interviewing officer. It is not given to the GTO because the candidate is in front of the GTO. But why it is given to the IO? Because we want that he can probe deeper into the candidate after knowing the basics or his profile. The psychologist never sees the candidate, therefore it gives him a very, very important, he makes out a picture of the candidate and he knows what type of candidate he is evaluating.
सर जो PIQ फॉर्म है हमें पता लग गया इट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सर PIQ फॉर्म भरते कैसे हैं
कैंडिडेट्स को ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि जो PIQ डॉक्यूमेंट है ये दोनों असेसर्स के पास जाएगा, साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पास भी जाएगा और इंटरव्यू ऑफिसर के पास भी जाएगा, and it is going to give the first impression of the candidate. Therefore, he should keep in mind that firstly when he fills it by hand, it should be neat and legible. पहला point. दूसरा point ये है कि all the information data which he is giving, it has to be factual, it has to be authentic. If the data is wrong by any chance, then it will amount to deception, and then maybe that you are rejected based on that. For example, if somebody has written that he has taken part in as a state level athletics and he doesn't have any certificates, he cannot prove it. Therefore, it may go against him. Right? So, first and most important is that the information must be authentic, it should be correct, it should be factual. Then he should also keep in mind that no columns are kept blank. Either it has to be nil or it has to be NA. For example, if he says outstanding achievement in academics, so he leaves it blank. No, it will not be left blank, it will be written nil. If it is nil, you write nil. If your siblings, if you're asking elder brother, elder sister, you're leaving it blank, no, you should write nil. Or if he's asking you, are parents dead or alive, you're leaving it blank, you should say not applicable. Right? So no column can be left blank, or it has to be filled up. Everything has to be filled up. Then one should be very careful to write the sports and games. At least you should write one team game and one individual game. If generally you don't play games and you don't write anything, then indoor people are not very much liked, or they may be a cause of rejection also. Because if you're just an indoor type, you don't play any games at all, it goes against you. इसी तरह से then ये जो आपका है extra curricular activities, you should have taken part in something, right? And your hobbies and interests, you can't leave everything blank. Some candidates in the column where it is written your attempt in SSB, they have already been, but they write nil. So you're telling lies, but we've got computers to find out, and if it is found that you're telling lies, you will be rejected even before the SSB. So PAQ forms are very important. They provide a very, very important platform to the assessor.
सर स्टेज 1 टेस्टिंग में एक हमारा टेस्ट होता है PP एंड DT एंड स्टेज 2 टेस्टिंग में एक हमारा टेस्ट होता है थीमेटिक और परसेप्शन टेस्ट. क्या दोनों में कोई फर्क है?
देखो ऐसा है कि जो PPDT है, it is part of stage 1. It is important because you have to, of course, fill up the square which is there on the left side. You have to write the action, but then when you write the story, that story and the story which you write in the thematic perception test, ये दोनों जो हैं जिनमें कोई फर्क नहीं है, उसमें हमें ये याद रखना है कि 3 कार्डिनल क्वेश्चंस what has led to the situation, what is happening now, what is the outcome. ये तो इस पूरी कहानी जो है इसी पे बेस होगी. You have to have a hero. That hero has to be empowered. Then he should be able to set a goal and achieve it. That he should be able to perceive the stimulus. Okay, what is the most important part which is there in that picture? Because you are shown some persons and some situation. So you should be able to gauge, okay, what is the most important part in that picture. Then you have to see, okay, what is the objective reality. I hope I am not denying the objective reality. Then you have to see, okay, you don't have to waste the resources. If you write Mohan was a very intelligent, very clever, very sincere boy, and in the story you have not used anything out of this, so you'll be frittering the resources. Similarly, you have to keep in mind that the story is towards reality. It is practical, possible in real life. It should not go towards fantasy. These are very important aspects which you have to keep in mind. And also, most importantly, what I would like to say, that it should not show any criminal mind. That means your mind should not be towards murder, rape, okay, then domestic violence, drugs, alcohol, depression, suicide, all these aspects, not even being sentimental, emotional, or sensitive. So, all these have to be kept in mind while you write the story so that your hero has been able to achieve some goal.
सर हम कैंडिडेट्स बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं जब हमें थीमेटिक और परसेप्शन टेस्ट में कोई ऐसी निगेटिव पिक्चर आ जाए, कोई डेड बॉडी, वायलेंस या एक्सीडेंट, तो उन पिक्चर्स को कैसे टैकल किया जाए?
को ऐसे किया जाता है कि जैसे जो भी आपको नेगेटिव पिक्चर दिखाई गई है, मानो डेड बॉडी दिखाई गई है, you try to convert that into a positive or a triumph. For example, जैसे dead body है, now it is a part of a natural life cycle. It is part of a natural life cycle. So you can make that dead body, you can always say कि भाई okay, depending on whatever situation it has been shown to you, you could always say that this was a person whose a cadaver was brought from the mortuary for demonstration by a doctor, and he was giving a demonstration of the surgical. Similarly, or a person who had earlier donated his organs and his eyes were useful to a blind person after the ophthalmologist did the operation. So you could convert it into a positive. Similarly, for accidents, for violence, you could say it was self-defense, right? For accidents, you could say you have to cover basically the priorities, what priorities you want to give. So, likewise, you can always convert the negative into a positive.
सर थीमेटिक और परसेप्शन के अंदर हमारे पास 12 पिक्चर्स आती हैं जिसके अंदर जो हमारी लास्ट पिक्चर होती है दैट इज अ ब्लैंक स्लाइड. तो सर हाउ टू टैकल दैट ब्लैंक पिक्चर, व्हाट टू इमेजिन एंड देन व्हाट टू राइट एग्जैक्टली?
Well, that's a very important question because most of the candidates make mistakes there. If you remember, when you are given instructions for TAT, you are told that you will be shown some persons and some situation. Try to establish a relation between them. So here too, in a blank picture, the candidate must ask himself 3 questions. Firstly, he has to imagine some situation and some persons. He has to imagine. Then he has to carry out 3 cardinal questions. कि वो सिचुएशन कैसे पैदा हुई, व्हाट लेड टू सिचुएशन, अब क्या हो रहा है और आउटकम क्या हुआ. उसको इसी लाइंस के ऊपर, सेम लाइंस एज व्हाट यू वर डूइंग इन द 11 पिक्चर्स, यू हैव टू कवर. To my mind, preferably candidates must write or make a story where he has captained some sports event and he made some strategy, and due to that strategy the team won. Or you could make your own story also with a different name, saying that how you struggled, you cleared the UPSC exam, you cleared the SSB, and today you are going to the academy and your parents have come to see you off. So instead of writing story that you are going in space and things, people write all weird answers for this. and therefore they go wrong.
So after thematic perception test, we have word association test. Sir, एक कैंडिडेट को क्या सोचना चाहिए word association test लिखते हुए?
वर्ड एसोसिएशन टेस्ट जो है देखो वो इसलिए दिया जाता है कि हाउ क्विकली योर माइंड कैन वर्क. तो हम आपको कहते हैं कि ओके, द फर्स्ट थॉट और आइडिया दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड, jot it down in a form of a sentence. We give you very simple. But actually what you should actually do is, what we want from you is that you should be original, you should be creative, and you should use your intellect, your intellectual ability to write that sentence. For example, like say a word comes failure. Now failure is a negative word. So people generally write failures are pillars to success, but it's a phrase, it's a cliché. So you are not allowed to actually write that. So what you should do, failures encourage us to work even harder, or failures teach us lessons learned. So one can always convert it into a intellectual sentence. So this is what is required. Factuals, proverbs, personal responses like I, you, he, we, Mohan, so on, all these are personal responses, not required. Also injunctions, which are preaching like sentences. So you must try to write sentences which have got meaning. Not that if you are shown given water, you say pass me a glass of water, it will be meaningless. Whereas had you written water is the essence of life, it makes, though it's a factual, but it shows you're using your intellectual ability. So this is what one must keep in mind, and you should never leave any blanks. Blanks can render failure. Yeah.
So after word association test, we have situation reaction test. So how a candidate should respond to SRT?
Yeah. You see, please remember that your TAT is the basic document. Your WAT is like a catalyst. It is going to either enhance your performance or it may lower your performance. The SRT is a confirmatory test. They are trying to find reasons. If anything, if there is any, if you are under the scanner for any factor 2 or any other star qualities, it could be counter checked. But definitely your answers should be practical, possible in real life. So after seeing SRT, my first advice to all the candidates is, please read the question very, very carefully. Understand the question. Once you've understood the question, then you try to find a possible solution for it. Once you have found the possible solution, try to convert it into one line. And ensure that you are able to make your English within one line. Please don't go into the second or third column. Because some candidates write for, they go enter the second column and they say for 2 read 3, for 3 read 4, or that will be detrimental to your performance. So one should remember these. So please also remember that there should be no intermittent blanks. That means it is not like a CBSE exam where you are, जब दब आप एक 1 2 3 क्वेश्चन किया 4 5 6 छोड़ दिया, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा. एंड आपने 60 तक कर लिया तो आप पक्का फेल हो जाएंगे. पर आपको कंटिन्यूसली करना है एक से लेके मिनिमम यू शुड अटेम्प्ट 45. Try to attempt all, but if you can attempt up to 45, very good. So minimum you must attempt up to 45. You must ensure that your questions are practical, possible, and possible in real practical life. That is, one must keep it in mind.
सर एज अ कैंडिडेट, अगर कैंडिडेट को समझना हो कि उसके SRT के रिस्पॉन्सेस सही है या गलत, तो एक कैंडिडेट को कैसे पता लगेगा?
कैंडिडेट को ऐसे पता चलेगा कि पहली बात तो कैंडिडेट ने क्वेश्चन समझ लिया है. समझ के उसने अपने माइंड में 3 सोल्यूशन ढूंढे, उसमें से ऑप्शन 2 वाज द बेस्ट. सो ही हैज कन्वर्टेड दैट. नाउ ही हैज टू सी कि वेदर माय आंसर इज प्रैक्टिकल, इज लॉजिकल, प्रैक्टिकल एंड पॉसिबल इन रियल लाइफ. अगर ये तीनों कंडीशंस पूरे हो गए, नोबडी ऑन अर्थ कैन मार्क योर क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग. That is how a candidate can himself evaluate his performance. But generally, the candidates, they just keep on writing without, and they become wishful, they go into fantasy, and therefore they go wrong. Or either their ideas are not workable at all, or maybe they become wishful and they're gone into fantasy, so they go wrong.
So after situation reaction test, we have self description test, and sometimes candidate take SDT very lightly. So why SDT is administrated?
Self description test basically we are trying to introspect. We want to see that whether this candidate has introspected himself for his strength and weaknesses. मानो एग्जाम्पल के तौर पर, मानो मेरी अंग्रेजी कमज़ोर है और मैंने कभी इल्म ही नहीं किया, कभी सोचा ही नहीं इसके बारे में कि मेरी अंग्रेजी कमज़ोर है, तो मैं इसको इम्प्रूव क्या करूँगा? मैं इसको इम्प्रूव कर ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि मैंने सोचा ही नहीं कभी, मैंने अपनी स्ट्रेंथ वीकनेस कभी के बारे में सोचा ही नहीं है। तो हम ये देखना चाहते हैं कि ये कैंडिडेट जो है, इसको अपने वीकनेसेस का पता है कि नहीं। अगर पता है तो उसने उसको इम्प्रूव करने के लिए क्या किया, राइट? दिस इज कॉल्ड इनसाइट. तो देयर आर सम मार्क्स फॉर ट्रेनेबिलिटी which every assessor has got. So trainability consists of very important thing. Now please understand this. It is your type of entry, your age, your OIR, right? All these and your insight, yeah, and your motivation. तो insight आ गया इसमें, such a big factor. पर अगर आपने SD लिखी और weak point डाले ही नहीं गई, तो आपकी insight low हो गई, तो आपकी trainability भी low हो जाएगी. Now you understand why we make you write.
Indeed, sir, yes.
It's a big indicator to the assessor that this person, he's genuine, he will try to improve, and he'll be a better officer after training.
So can we prepare SDT from home?
Of course. Two things you can prepare. You know, they're like, short questions जो आने हैं, जैसे किसी ने बोला ये question exam में आ रहा है. So you know कि ये question तो आना ही आना है. एक SDT है, सेल्फ डिस्क्रिप्शन टेस्ट, और एक है ब्लैंक स्लाइड. दोनों की प्रैक्टिस कीजिए और पहले से तैयारी करके आइए, ताकि वहां पे आपको सोचने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. दे हैव गिवन यू, द एसएसबी हैज गिवन यू सच अ बिग लिफ्ट. दे हैव टोल्ड यू कि ये करके आ जाओ, एंड आपने करके लिया है, तो आपका काम टाइम भी बच गया. यू आर फास्टर एंड यू नो यू व्हाट यू आर राइटिंग. So this is going to be a big asset for you. So candidates must practice these two, blank slide and SDT. Please practice at home.
सर इतने कम समय में जितने में एक साइड टेस्ट होता है, ट्रू पर्सनालिटी कैसे पता लगती है कैंडिडेट की?
Okay, that's a very good question. You see, true personality of a person is being assessed by 3 expert assessors: psychologist, your GTU, and the IO. Now, what are we doing? Because personality per se means the evaluation of your overt and your covert qualities. Overt qualities are those qualities जो कि बाहर से आप क्या नजर आ रहे हो, आप क्या हो, आपकी हाइट क्या है, वेट क्या है, यू आर फिट, यू आर नॉट ओबीज, यू आर गुड physically, you can do all the obstacles. All that is covered in the overt qualities. Now the covert qualities are intrinsic qualities which I don't know. Maybe what are your attributes, what are your desires, what is your temperament, are you a person who gets irritated or you're a cool guy. All this comes, your aspirations, your attributes, your temperament, and your attitude. All these come into the covert qualities. Also, are you a person who is not able to socially adapt with other people? Are you a person who hoodwinks other people? Are you a person who will cheat other people? Or you are critical about others? Or you're an introvert, you don't mix? Or maybe in sense of responsibility, you are careless, casual. So all this is found out in the as a per covert qualities by the psychologist. Other assessors also, I will not say that they are not looking at it. They are also trying to find out the covert qualities. But actual covert qualities are being found by the psychologist And the interviewing officer and the GTO both are doing the covert part, but also the overt part, but covert also they can do. So finally, on the final day, conference day, they sit together, they give out what they feel, and if the person is clear of the mandatory qualities, the star qualities, and his performance has been adequate, so he gets through. Until and unless he's under the scanner for either social adaptability, courage, or effective intelligence.
सर हम ट्रू पर्सनालिटी की बात कर रहे हैं, पर सर कई कैंडिडेट्स बोलते हैं कि साइक टेस्ट में वो फेक रिस्पॉन्स भी दे देते हैं. इज इट पॉसिबल टू फेक रिस्पॉन्सेज इन साइक?
No, I'll say it is not possible to fake the false. You see, the reason is very simple. You cannot fool everyone all the time. You cannot manipulate or you cannot hide. You will be exposed. Say you hide everything in psych. Let us see. You're a very clever person and you were coached and you've tried to hide your factor to your social adaptability problems. You're a chap who gets irritated. You're trying to hide it. But maybe in the GTO, when the GTO tells you that this is red area, this is green area, don't go over the red area. And when the GTO was not looking, you bent over the red area. So you're a cheat. Okay, so this thing has come out. Or maybe you're a chap who gets irritated and say, "Oi, bala bala, sale, kitni der kyun kar raha hai?" So you everything comes out. So these manifestations which will come out are discussed in the conference, and you cannot hide it. So I'll categorically say that it is not possible to hide or manipulate or fake your responses. You may fool some for some time, but you'll get caught somewhere because it will precipitate somewhere or the other.
Yes, sir. So as you said, coached. So generally coached candidates are rejected. ऐसा बच्चे बोलते हैं कि कोचिंग लेकर जाएंगे तो रिजेक्ट हो जाएंगे. So what is your opinion about the same? क्या एक कैंडिडेट को कोचिंग लेनी चाहिए?
Well, a very delicate question, and where most of the candidates they falter. No, reason is very simple. That they feel that once we say that we are coach candidates, we'll be rejected. That is the misnomer which most of the candidates have. But actually speaking, to my mind, practically every candidate has taken coaching. So there's no harm in getting coached. But when you get coached, if your ideas fructify and they are fixed, they become stereoscopic. कि भी ऐसा हो तो ऐसे ही करना है. So what happens? You are losing your own creativity. And when you answer to the IO or whatever questions you are answering, it becomes very obvious that you have either mugged it up or you have been coached कि ऐसा पूछने से ऐसे ही बोलना है. So it comes to light. And the assessors are very experienced. They can make out in no time that you are coached or not coached. So person who has taken coaching should not try to hide it, but should come out. Yes, sir. I took the coaching, but I took it as a guidance. I applied my own ideas.
सर आपने 3000 प्लस कैंडिडेट्स को असेस किया है. आपके हिसाब से ऐसी कौन सी कॉमन मिस्टेक है जो मैक्सिमम कैंडिडेट्स करते हैं साइक टेस्ट के अंदर?
साइक टेस्ट के अंदर कैंडिडेट्स जो गलतियां करते हैं, सबसे पहले मैं ये कहूँगा कि दे शुड अंडरस्टैंड दैट जो भी पिक्चर दिखाई जाती है उस पिक्चर का स्टिमुलस ही नहीं समझ में आता इनको क्या है. स्टिमुलस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इन दैट पिक्चर विच प्रोवोक्स यू टू मेक अ रिएक्शन. सो वो जो स्टिमुलस है, यू आर नॉट एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई द स्टिमुलस और परसीव द स्टिमुलस, सो यू गो एस्ट्रे. स्टार्ट ही गलत हो गया. That is one major reason. Second major reason is that you're not following the basic principles of psych, writing a story. What are these basic principles? I told you that story must have a hero. That hero has to be empowered. I've already covered them earlier. We have covered them with you. So, and there should be a goal which has to be set and that has to be achieved. should not fritter resources, they should be not towards any fantasy, but all should be logical, practical, possible in real life. There should be continuity and everything must be not jumping to a conclusion. So, and plus your criminal mind should not show anywhere, and you should not you should be able to cover all these points in your story. Now, most of the candidates they fail because either they are found to be having some aberration, limitation, or angularity in your star qualities. That means your mandatory qualities. If there's anything like this, it will be brought under the scanner and it will be discussed in depth. And if it is found that this is a serious flaw, for example, like I gave you example of a GTO, the cheating amounting to cheating, crossing the red area, or he's abusive, he's a chronic liar, or doesn't mix with others, he's a loner, anything like this, or there's a courage problem, or his effective intelligence is very low, he is not able to. Effective intelligence means how quickly you can understand a problem and how quickly you can solve the problem. So if you're not able to do all this, generally they fail. So it is due to low performance in psych or any other technique that a person fails or a candidate fails.
सर आपने अभी बात करी मैंडेटरी OLQs की। मार्केट में ये तो सबको पता लग गया कि 15 ऑफिसर्स लाइक क्वालिटीज होती हैं, वो होनी चाहिए तो हम रेकमेंड होंगे। सो मैंडेटरी OLQs कौन सी है?
मैंडेटरी OLQs होती हैं जी, सबसे पहले इफेक्टिव इंटेलिजेंस। मैंने अभी समझाया कि हाउ क्विकली यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड अ प्रॉब्लम एंड हाउ क्विकली यू कैन सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम। इफ यू कैन डू बोथ द थिंग्स, then your effective intelligence is very good. But if it is found low, जैसे आपके इंटेलिजेंस टेस्ट में पता चल जाता है और 3 एंड बिलो कि आपकी इंटेलिजेंस कम होती जा रही है, अगर वो 3, 4, 5 है तो ऐसे कैंडिडेट को नहीं लेंगे वो, बिकॉज ये लो है। सेकेंडली, सोशल अडेप्टेबिलिटी मैंने आपको बताया, वेरी बिग कैनवस, उसमें योर सिंसेरिटी, इंटेग्रिटी, ऑनेस्टी ये सब आ जाता है, प्लस योर negative points. That means, do you mix with others or you don't mix with others? Are you critical about others? Are you a person who is always making faults with others, right? Or you're a person who's a loner who doesn't mix up with others. All these, or your mind is got a criminal content. Your full day you're thinking about girls, or you're thinking about kidnapping, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, girlfriends, boyfriends, things like this. All this, and domestic violence, suicide, depression. If your mind is towards the negative side, then probably again, if there's any inclination to the assessor that you are susceptible to distractions, you are careless, casual, or things like that, he will not take you. And of course, courage being the very important factor.
सर जो रेकमेंड होते हैं कैंडिडेट्स, क्या ऑल द रेकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट्स हैव ऑल द 15 OLQs?
No, it is not necessary that all candidates who get recommended have all the 15 qualities. The mandatory qualities, definitely, that means your star qualities which we just discussed, are definitely there intact. Okay, that means there is no problem in that. That means he's clear for that. Courage, effective intelligence, social ability, everything is clear. But other qualities, for example, he may be having less initiative, maybe having less self-confidence, or maybe his ability to influence the group is not that much. So we say, okay, when he goes to the training academy, he will improve. So in the trainability, we help him out. You can say grace marks, thinking and optimistically that he will pick up. Because his OR1, his grasp is good, he will pick up. So we give you that leverage. So it is not necessary that all 15 qualities should be there.
सर जब हम SSB में देखते हैं कि कुछ ऐसे कैंडिडेट्स होते हैं जो बहुत बार SSBs देते हैं और 15-15, 16-16 अटेम्प्ट तक कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट होते हैं, बट किसी तरह अपने किसी लास्ट अटेम्प्ट में रिकमेंड हो जाते हैं, तो क्या उनमें पहले वो OLQs नहीं थी और बाद में वो OLQs डेवलप हो जाती है?
Like I told you that it is the mandatory qualities cannot change. If there is somebody is lacking the mandatory qualities, he will never improve. But generally, what happens is that these candidates fail due to poor performance. Due to poor performance in their either in psych or in the interview or in the GTO. For example, in the IO, he may not have done general knowledge and general awareness. And when asked a question, he's blank. But he improved. Similarly, in the GTO, he was weak in the obstacles, but he practiced very hard. He did it. Similarly, in the psych, he knew that he missed out so many words. So he was rejected. Now he attempts all the 60. And there is substance in what he writes. There is imagination in what he writes. He has tackled the situation reaction test very well. And he has improved. So basically, it is the performance which is kept in mind by the assessors, and we don't get biased that he is at 8th time or 10th time, so we'll not take him. That 30 assessors have said that he will not become an officer. But it is the performance. Ultimate end is the performance. If he has performed, he gets to.
मतलब OLQs डेवलप हो सकती है.
बिल्कुल हो सकती है.
ठीक है सर. इंग्लिश की कितनी बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंस है SSB के अंदर. जब हम इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन की बात करते हैं, कुछ कैंडिडेट्स ऐसे हैं जो एक रूरल बैकग्राउंड से है या उनकी इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन अच्छी नहीं है, क्या वो उनकी परफॉर्मेंस पे अफेक्ट करेगा?
वेल ऐसा है कि इंग्लिश जो है एक लैंग्वेज है जो इट इज इन इंडिया, वी आर ऑल हिंदुस्तानी, वी आर इंडियंस. हिंदी भी उतनी इम्पोर्टेंट है जितनी इंग्लिश है. बट डेफिनेटली यू विल बेयर मी आउट कि अगर आप इंटरव्यू के लिए गए हो और अगर आप अंग्रेजी में बोलो तो आपका इंप्रेशन मच बेटर होगा. अगर आप हिंदी में यू आर एबल टू कन्वर्स इन हिंदी, यू आर एबल टू गिव रियल सब्सटेंस. Well, lot of people who write in Hindi, they have got through. You are allowed to write in Hindi. You can write in Hindi, no problem. But please remember that English is a language where it is very easy to communicate. It is much easier, I'll say, to communicate. And in the army, generally, we follow a system where Hindustani is used actually, but most of the official work we are doing it in English only. So English is preferred. I'll say it is a preferred language, but nobody can stop you. If you say कि I'll speak in Hindi, you'll say okay, go ahead.
सर हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं अगर बहुत अच्छी हिंदी हो. क्या हम हिंदी में साइक टेस्ट लिख सकते हैं, पूरा साइक टेस्ट?
Yes, पूरा साइक टेस्ट आप हिंदी में लिख सकते हैं. You are allowed. You are allowed to do that. And also in the interview, if you switch over to Hindi and you're doing very well, you are got a command over language in Hindi, well and good.
ठीक है सर. तो English is important because it's preferable, but if you can't do it, then do it in Hindi, but do it well.
But express yourself.
Yes.
The most important thing here is to express yourself.
So what is the right age of preparation? कि NDA से शुरुआत करनी चाहिए या CDS better है? What do you think?
Well, to this question, I'll say that preparation must start at the earliest stage. That means, say you are in 8th, 9th or 10th. Now, I have seen that most of the candidates, वो उनको 10वीं में आ जाते हैं, उनको यही नहीं, उनको पूछो आप क्या बनोगे, वो कहते हैं हमें नहीं पता, हम अपने डैडी से पूछेंगे, मम्मी से पूछेंगे. So they are unable to decide their career. Such a thing should not happen. By the time a candidate reaches 9th or 10th, he should be very clear as to कहाँ जाना चाहता है. Does he want to become an officer in the Indian Armed Forces? If so, start working for it. Now, how does he start working? There are two things. He has to clear the UPSC exam. He has to clear the SSB. For UPSC exam, please remember that his basics in mathematics and science should be very good. Strong fundamentals will help him to get through, take PCM, and he'll be able to clear the UPSC in a jiffy. Now, if once he has cleared the UPSC, then comes the SSB. Now, for SSB, it is too early to start at 10th, I'll say. But what he should do is keep his eyes and ears open. At least he can see his general knowledge, general awareness, hear to the news, Make a reading habit. Read newspapers, read magazines, hear to discussions, improve his verbal command over language. And he can improve these aspects, the soft skills. I'll say he must improve, and these will help him very easily to get through the SSB because he doesn't have to waste time on the general knowledge, general awareness, science, or maybe English. Right? He has to concentrate on basically the greater, finer part of it, which I told you,
Or personality.
all the personality, so that his personality assessment he gets through.
यस सर. सर यूजुअली लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि जो एनडीए पास आउट्स होते हैं वही जनरल तक जाते हैं. यूजुअली सीडीएसई और टीए से एंट्री वाले ज्यादा बड़े रैंक्स तक नहीं जाते. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, क्या एनडीए वालों को प्रायोरिटी मिलती है?
I'll say this is a misnomer. You see, the first entry to the Indian Armed Forces NDA. So generally, lot of people, lot of candidates, they appear for NDA, right? And NDA, the training is for 3 years and 1 year at IMA, right? So there is a feeling that NDA is the best because from there you can go to Army, Navy, Air Force, all the three. That is one. But please remember that the NDA will make a difference. The bias or whatever you want to say, that there is okay, they get preference, is only during the training period. Maybe that if I was a BCA or a battalion cadet adjutant in NDA, I also, when my report goes to IMA, maybe they want me to become as senior under officer or whatever. So I get a little lift. But after you are commissioned, whether you are from NDA, whether you are from OTA, or whether you are any other entry, all entries are considered at par. And what really matters is your performance in courses, your annual confidential reports, and how you have done in the army. That is how you find there is no difference after that.
यस सर. सर स्क्रीनिंग में तो हमें समझ आ गया कि मैक्सिमम 60 बच्चे वो स्क्रीनिंग करते हैं. बट सर रेकमेंड उसमें से भी बहुत कम होते हैं, मैक्सिमम उसमें से भी कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट हो जाते हैं. व्हाई इज दैट? व्हाई मैक्सिमम कैंडिडेट्स गेट कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट?
Maximum candidates get conferenced out for 3 reasons. First reason I'll say is very simple, that their performance with either the interviewing officer, GTO or psych has been dismal. He has not been able to perform with them. That is one. That means poor performance. Second is there has been some aberration, limitation leading to an angularity in the star qualities. That means somewhere in the star qualities there is a black spot, right? And if there you come under the scanner and it is discussed and found yes, it is confirmed by the other assessor, then in that case, I'm sorry, that is the reasons why these they do not get through. Third reason, of course, could be that he has not been able to really express himself. His power expression is very low. वो express ही नहीं कर पा रहा.
यस सर.
If there's a person like this who's got a strained expression, then I'm sorry, then he's not able to cope up with the
सो दैट मीन्स असेसर्स के पास कोई ऐसा लिमिटेड नंबर नहीं होता कि इतने ही बच्चे रेकमेंड करने हैं.
You are absolutely right. There is no such number. If there's a 10 boys, 10 candidates are there in a batch, all 10 can get through if they are competent.
यस सर.
It is not that only 2 or 3 will get through. If all 10 are good, found good, all 10 will get through.
यस सर.
This is very, very fair system.
यस सर. सर जब कोई कैंडिडेट कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट होता है वो बहुत सारी बातें करते हैं अबाउट द एसएसबी बोर्ड इटसेल्फ. सो व्हाट आर द कॉमन एंड मेजर मिथ्स एज पर यू अबाउट द एसएसबी?
Okay. Common myths which candidates generally have is, firstly, a very, very common myth is that only the candidates who are sons or wards of army officers or VVIPs, only they get through. They think that only the army officers' children, or maybe he's a minister's son, or maybe adjutant general's son, so he will get through, others will not get through. So there's a myth about that. That is first myth. Second myth is that they feel that a candidate can those who are coached. If you say that I am coached, I will be rejected. So they don't come out to say that they are coached. So they want to hide it. So moment you hide it, you are exposed. So you are telling lies then.
Yes, sir.
You're telling lies. Then other myths are, of course, there where the students they think that basically I have been rejected because I was a repeater.
Yes, sir.
तो वो तो रिपीटरों को तो लेते ही नहीं.
लेते ही नहीं है.
See, they have that in mind. They have that in mind कि रिपीटरों को तो nobody bothers about them, and only the freshers are taken. That is another myth which is going on. And of course, like you know, there are many other.
Yes, sir. Sir, SSB प्रोसेस के अंदर फेयर एंड न्यूट्रलिटी ये कैसे इंश्योर होता है कि दिस प्रोसेस इज फेयर?
Okay, this is a very important question. Now, you see, first of all, the selection system, it has got, I told you, 3 assessors.
Yes, sir.
Now, these assessors are officers who have actually excelled themselves. In either they have excelled themselves, well, they went for SSB, they were the toppers. So their name has been recorded in the computer and they come up. Second thing is that their record of service is unblemished. They are the persons who are very high achievers. Their integrity, their honesty is at the highest, you can say. So they are persons who are absolutely reliable. Second point of neutrality is that you'll be maybe you may not be maybe knowing that before the conference is held, the IO, GTO and Psych have to submit their pen picture report along with marks. Marks are already given. So marks cannot be changed. The initial marks are given even before we enter the conference hall. Now, this is very important. Third, no assessor is allowed to speak to another assessor regarding performance of any candidate. Now, this is followed very implicitly. If any assessor is found talking to another assessor कि फलाना कैसे कर रहा है, like if a psych goes and asks the GTO कि ये लड़की कैसे कर रही है, is she good? So, if it is comes to notice of anyone, that assessor will be posted out. Third thing is any indication of any nepotism, favoritism, or interference by any higher authority, including army headquarters, is reported to the defense minister straight. And the person involved will be posted out within 24 hours. Lastly, when the batching is done, the recruiting directorate distributes, say, 10 lakh candidates appeared, 10,000 passed. Now they will make pseudo random lots. This will go to Bangalore, this will go to Allahabad, this will go to Bhopal, this will go to this SSB. So all these are marked at pseudo random. And even when they reach the SSB, the GTO, where it does batching, it is done at a random fashion. कभी 26 को ले लिया, कभी 4 को ले लिया. So nobody can manipulate. So all these precautions are taken and it has stood the validity and test of time. Therefore, this system is being followed even today and it is an absolutely fair and neutral system, I'll say.
सर अब तो एनडीए में लड़कियां भी जाने लग गई हैं और जैसे जैसे हम एसएसबी के मार्क्स देखते हैं, कई बच्चे बोलते हैं कि लड़कियों को एसएसबी में ज़्यादा मिलते हैं, लड़कियों की असेसमेंट डिफरेंट होती है. आप बताओ कि इज देयर डिफरेंट यार्डस्टिक्स टू असेस फीमेल एंड मेल कैंडिडेट्स इन एसएसबी?
Now, as far as the SSB is concerned, please remember there is no difference in the yardstick as far as the SSB is concerned for interviewing officer and psych. As far as the GTO is concerned, yes, some little leverage is given in timings for obstacles for the women candidates. But otherwise, everything is the same. So generally, I'll say that everything, there is no change. Of course, women being slightly weaker, we have to give a leverage to them when it comes to physical activities. So slightly there, even in India they have done, but in SSB, starting from SSB, it's not much, very less differences there. You can go into details, but these are the basic things are the same. There will be no parameter change.
So you said we have to go into details. तो अगर आपसे ये details लेनी हो तो कहाँ कैसे पता लगेगा ये details कहाँ
उसके लिए आपको फिर निम्बस आना पड़ेगा.
ठीक है sir. So at the end I just wanted to like what advice you would like to give to all the aspirants who are watching you.
Okay, my advice to all the aspirants is that firstly, whenever you go, whatever you do in life, do it, go all out. Don't make a half-baked attempt. That is one. Secondly, start your preparations early, like I told you. If it is a written examination, start doing it earlier. Make your fundamentals very strong. Improve your soft skills, your speed reading, your English, right? Your memory techniques. You must improve your time management. All these have to be improved. That is one. Secondly, when you go for SSB, go with an open mind. Be totally free. And you must keep your eyes and ears open. That means you should be able to know what is happening in this world, in this country, and also in sports. In fact, you should open a notebook, write 3 to 5 world news, 3 to 5 national news, and 3 to 5 sports news every day, so that you don't have to mug up. Then keep improving your IQ, your intelligence, your OIR. Keep on appearing for the intelligence tests so that your mind is polished, okay, and you are able to sort out all the problems, right? When you go for SSB, be natural, never tell lies. Whatever, if you don't know a question, say I don't know, right? And try to answer your best. Be natural. You don't have to be artificial. And for your SSB is concerned, you can always come for coaching to Nimbus and any other academy. I'll say why only Nimbus, whatever, wherever you want to go. But please remember that that coaching should not affect you and you don't become stereoscopic. But you should be creative, natural, and apply yourself properly to the problems. This will help you. And finally, last suggestion is that your sincerity, your integrity, your honesty will always pay. So work hard, and whatever you do in life, start right now and go all out.
Yes sir.
That's it.
Thank you so much sir. Thank you.
Thank you.